what's happening right now. London police say 4 people, including the suspected attacker and a police officer, are dead after a terror attack. Good afternoon, I'm Brittany Pieper.
And I'm Jordan Berger. Authorities say the attacker drove into pedestrians with a vehicle and then stabbed a police officer outside British Parliament before being shot and killed by police. NBC's Kelly Kobila has the latest from London.
It went down early in the afternoon today, right in the center of London at the Houses of Parliament. The first indication that something was going wrong, sounds of an accident on Westminster Bridge. That's how eyewitnesses describe it.
And then I see that one car smashed to the wall and just people started running all over.
Several people hit by a driver in a car on that bridge. Then the car crashed into the gates at the Parliament building. The driver got out holding a knife and tried to get into the Parliament building. In the process of doing that, he stabbed an officer who was guarding Parliament. He was then shot by police.
Sadly, I can confirm that now 4 people have died. That includes the police officer who was protecting Parliament and 1 man we believe to be the attacker who was shot by a police firearms officer.
We also understand now from the Foreign Ministry in France that French students were among the injured. At least 3 French students who were here on a school trip on Westminster Bridge and hit by that car. Streets are closed in central London. The investigation continues. Having said that, Met Police say they believe there was only 1 attacker.
That was NBC's Kelly Kobila reporting. The investigation is ongoing.
Students from the University of Missouri are currently studying abroad in London for the semester. Junior Madeline Lepori said there was a sense of urgency and shock, but she does still feel safe. She said, getting home from work today felt normal, no less hustle, but I know we and all Londoners are tiptoeing around. It's the nature of the people in London that have made me feel safe. Locals have been so supportive, and everyone's attitudes today really made me feel comforted despite everything that had happened. MU spokesperson Christian Basie said the university's in constant communication with students abroad, and there's no reason to indicate any of them are unsafe at this time. He said, quote, their safety is our #1 priority.
Today also marks the first anniversary of the suicide bomb attacks on the Brussels airport and subway. The attacks killed 32 people and injured more than 300 others. A commemoration ceremony was held at the airport today. Belgium's King Philippe laid a wreath outside the departure hall where 2 suicide bombers took out the attack last year.
A Colombia woman who was shot last night is now dead. 25-year-old Shamia Brimaj died at the hospital today. KOMU8's Aaron Reynolds is live on Madison Street where the shooting happened.
Both Shamia Brimaj and another woman were shot inside a house here at the 1000 block of Madison Street. I spoke with several neighbors, and some were unaware that the shooting even happened. The Columbia Police Department responded to this block 2 separate times yesterday evening. CPD first arrived on the scene around 5:45 p.m. after receiving multiple shots fired reports. Around 10 p.m., officers were called back with more shots fired reports. That's when CPD found the 2 women suffering from gunshot wounds.
What was determined on scene was that shots had been fired from outside the residence. The bullets struck the residence, penetrated the walls, and actually then had struck the female victims that were inside the residence.
I don't know the condition of the other woman. The Criminal Investigation Division is investigating the incident as a homicide but hasn't made any arrests at the time. Reporting live in Columbia, Aaron Reynolds, KOMU8 News.
All right, thank you, Aaron. Columbia police made 2 additional arrests today in connection with Sunday morning's disturbance at the Eagle stop on I-70. 25-year-old Amanta Harris and 21-year-old Aaron Harris were arrested for multiple misdemeanors, including private peace disturbance and resisting arrest. This is body cam footage CPD released from the gas station early Sunday morning. After using tasers, CPD says Amanta Harris approached an officer in a threatening manner. While officers were taking another person into custody, CPD says Aaron Harris charged at the officers. These arrests are in addition to the 4 taken in on Sunday.
Today, a Mexico middle school 8th grader was taken into custody after a report he had a handgun at school earlier in the week. According to the school district, another student reported the gun, but no threats were made and there was no intention of using the gun. Police did not find a gun on campus today, and the student told police it was a BB gun. Officers later found a BB gun from a family member. The student's case will end up in juvenile court.
In less than 3 months, Missouri voters will have to start showing photo IDs in order to vote. KOMU8's Emma Reckenberg joins us live outside the Boone County with what details on what you'll need to bring to the polls before you can cast your vote. Emma?
Inside this building, you can register to vote at the Boone County Clerk's office. However, starting this summer, you'll need to bring along a photo ID like this driver's license before going to the polls. However, I spoke with the Missouri Secretary of State, and he said that you'll still have the chance to cast your ballot with or without a license.
Regardless of what you've heard or what you might think, if you're a registered voter, you can go on election day to your polling place and you can vote.
Secretary Ashcroft is speaking on the concern some voters might have about Missouri's photo ID requirement law. Starting June 1st, Missouri voters will need to present a government-issued photo ID. A driver's license, non-driver's license, passport, or military ID would work, but...
Well, let's say you don't have one of those, but you do have an expired driver's license. Well, that would allow you to sign a statement that you understand in Missouri you're supposed to have a government-issued photo ID to vote, that you don't have a current one, yours is expired, and that you know that the state will provide you one for free. And then you get to vote.
Ashcroft says you'll be able to find these paper statements at all polling locations. Combine your signature with a utility bill, bank statement, paycheck, or Missouri student ID, and you're ready to vote. But Mary Ratliff with the Columbia NAACP says the law is targeting a specific group of people.
They are aware that the larger number of people who will not have photo ID, who will not have driver's license, or who will have problems, are going to be African Americans. So it is meant to thwart the African American vote.
To help all registered voters meet requirements, Ashcroft says his office will assist with getting voters a non-driver's license for free.
Elections are the most important thing government does because government derives its power and its authority from we the people making our own decisions and being a part of the process.
Ratliff also acknowledges the power of voting.
People are beginning to learn that they need to get out and vote, and that they have to vote to make a change.
Ratliff says she's talking with lawyers and organizations to try to change the Missouri photo ID law. Meanwhile, Secretary Ashcroft is talking with poll workers across the state of Missouri to educate them on the new voting process, which will take place 2 months later in June. Reporting live in Columbia, Emma Reckenberg, KOMU 8 News.
Not everyone is happy with changes made to the city's development code, especially some people living in the East Campus neighborhood. Today, the president of the East Campus Majority Housing Association said a vital tool for transparency was lost. KOMU 8's Chris Joseph's here in the studio to tell you what the new Unified Development Code could mean for the neighborhood.
Under the new code, the City Council amended an amendment that had previously required it to consult East Campus representatives before altering zoning laws. The amendment hadn't been on the books since 2003 and was the product of deliberations between residents and landlords. The council can now alter East Campus zoning with less neighborhood association input beforehand. City Council member Michael Trapp says allowing the amendment to stand would have handcuffed future councils.
Our current city attorney has determined that that was an unlawful taking of discretion.
Now the city has removed that democratic and transparent requirement and says, trust us, we'll do the right thing.
The East Campus Majority Housing Association will not pursue legal action for now. In the studio, Chris Joseph, KOMU 8 News.
It was chilly out there this morning. Let's send it over to Tori with a look at the rest of the week.
All right, thank you, Tori. A group aims to find new ways to help students with disabilities get jobs after school.
And new information on President Trump's wiretap allegations. As it appears, some of his communications were intercepted.
But first, you're taking a live look over the Rocheport area. It is 5:09, and this is KOMU 8 News, first at 5. Coverage you can count on.
But not as bad as last week.
No.
But yeah.
Thanks, Tori.
Thanks, Tori. Today, Missouri Vocational Rehabilitation held a public hearing in Columbia to hear community feedback on ways to improve services for students with disabilities. More than 25,000 students in Missouri are diagnosed with some kind of disability, but not all reach successful employment. However, the new Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act helps bring together MVR and its partners to better prepare disabled students for the workforce.
We're all in this together, and it's so important that we work together to provide these services, not only for students and youth with disabilities, which this law really focuses on, but to all people of all ages, of work ages.
Missouri Vocational Rehabilitation placed 60% of participating students in jobs in 2016, and Gaines encourages those impacted to take advantage of local and federal resources.
After the break, a new report reveals intelligence agencies might have collected some of President Trump's communications.
New information tonight from the House Intelligence Committee on President Donald Trump's concerns he was wiretapped. New reports indicate Trump's personal conversations after the election may have been picked up by intelligence agencies, but that he was not the target. Rather, the conversations were incidentally collected during sweeps of other people. The committee chairman said this is not related to Russia. Trump told reporters he feels vindicated by the new information, and the chairman says the president should be concerned.
What I've read seems to me to be some level of surveillance activity, perhaps legal, but I don't know that it's right, and I don't know that the American people would be comfortable.
The Intelligence Committee has requested more information from the FBI, NSA, and CIA as the investigation continues.
The Republicans' health care replacement plan has faced a tough path, but it will come to a House vote tomorrow. Not all Republicans are behind the bill, and the White House is scrambling for enough votes to pass it. It's important to note the House Speaker can delay tomorrow's vote if it looks like they don't have enough votes to pass it. Researchers have found new information about the long-term side effects of early-stage prostate cancer treatments. Surgery to remove the prostate was most likely to cause problems with lack of voluntary control and sexual function. Men treated with radiation were most likely to have issues with bowel function, and even some patients who chose no treatment suffered from anxiety. Breast augmentations, the most popular cosmetic procedure in the U.S., but certain implants could be linked to cancer. As of February 1st, there have been 359 cases of a rare form of cancer linked to textured breast implants, but not smooth textured implants. The cancer is called anaplastic large cell lymphoma and can take 10 years to develop. 3 parents might soon be able to make a baby now that a new fertility treatment has been approved in the UK. It would make it possible for an embryo to be created from 2 women and a man. The process involves replacing faulty mitochondria inherited from the mother with the healthy mitochondria of another woman. Researchers hope this will prevent children from being born with fatal genetic diseases carried by the mother.
One woman is dead and another's conditions are unknown after being shot last night in Columbia. KMU8's Aaron Reynolds is live where the shooting happened to tell us more about the incident. Aaron?
25-year-old Shemaya Brimage died at the hospital this morning. Columbia Police Department responded to 2 separate shots fired reports here at the 1000 block of Madison Street last night. CPD first arrived on the scene around 5:45 p.m. and didn't report any injuries. They were called back a little after 10 o'clock, and that's when they found the 2 women suffering from gunshot wounds. The Criminal Investigation Division is investigating the incident as a homicide, but hasn't made any arrests at the time. Reporting live in Columbia, Aaron Reynolds, KMU8 News.
Here's a look at what we're following for KMU8 News at 6. A new policy will restrict what you can bring to Mizzou football games.
And a widower is claiming police negligence after a crash involving his wife. That's at 6.
All right, we're heading into a little bit of a cool evening as temperatures kind of hold back into those middle and upper 40s for the rest of the night. We are going to see more clouds building into the area. That's all ahead of a few really scattered showers throughout Thursday morning. More showers and thunderstorms are expected between Friday evening and into Saturday.
All right, bring that umbrella along.
Yep.
That's our time for now. Thank you so much for joining us.
NBC Nightly News is next.